Hey guys, don't mind the mess, but today I am packing up and I am going to be sending off some of my propagation cuttings that I did for quite a few friends of mine. These ones I'm packing up for a friend of mine, and I want to show you just what I'm using. Now, since this is a cutting, it had a lot of roots on it. I wish I showed you before I planted it up. But since it is a cutting and it's a propagation, it's not huge. Like the root system's not, but there were quite a few water roots on this philodendron Florida Ghost, Florida Beauty. And I don't fill the soil up to the very tip top of the little planter pot. What I do is I fill it up to about right here, and then I get some moist or damp, for those of you who don't like the word moist, paper towel, and I just cover and go around the stems, and then I cover the soil. And then once I get those covered up, I'm gonna do one more right here, and then once I get this all set up and show what I do, I'm gonna put some tape on it. So give me about 2 seconds and I'll show you what that looks like.
Why you should be mine. All I need is one good reason. Secrets are no good. Don't let them hurt you. Better be honest. If you want my kiss, give me a reason. Give me an answer. Then I can kiss you every day. But hold on to your feelings till you know what you're in for. Just hold on just a minute till you know what I'm good for. I could give you a try, take it to the sky, if you give me one good reason why you deserve my time, why you should be mine. All I need is one good reason. All I need is one good reason. All I need is one good reason why you deserve my time, why you should be mine. All I need is one good reason.
Then what you see me doing here is getting some box tape, or any kind of tape would work, but this one tends to stick a little bit better than Scotch tape. I mean, duct tape would work, but I want my friends to be able to get their tape undone off of the planter pot. So this is what I'm going to use, and you're going to see that in the video.
Darling, I'm selfish. Wish I could love you, but you don't tell me how much you want it. I need a reason, I need an answer. Then I can love you every day. But hold on to your feelings till you know what you're in for. Just hold on just a minute till you know what I'm good for. I could give you a try, take it to the sky, if you give me one good reason why you deserve my time, why you should be mine. All I need is one good reason. Secrets are no good. Don't let them hurt you. Better be want my kiss. Give me a reason, give me an answer, then I can kiss you every day. But hold on to your feelings till you know what you're in for.
In this box, or in this planter pot, it's a little bit different. I'm actually going in between these two stems because that's where I put some of the paper towel. And so I'm just gonna go right between here. You don't have to be really neat or precise, but I'm getting right in between here so that this will hold the paper towel in place, if you can see what I'm doing. It's just right in the middle of one stem and the other. Put that smack dab right here. And then I'm probably gonna use one more piece of tape just to secure the other sides, and I think that's good. Now for the friend who I am sending this to, this is not as many roots as I would like to see on a propagation cutting. Now you know who you are and you know who this is going to. And when you see the roots on this Philodendron Soderoy, it's a beautiful plant. If you don't have it, yeah, I highly suggest maybe splurging a little bit and getting it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this video does not even do it justice what these plants and what the color and the texture that these leaves actually are, even on film. I mean, they're so pretty. So these are some roots that have planted or that have popped out from the node. I like to see kind of little hairs coming off of these guys right here. They're like hair roots. I know that you friends who have plants and who have done this, especially with philodendrons, I've noticed this with. I like it when these roots grow little hair roots. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to plant this guy up, and I'm going to, well, I'll show you what I'm planting in this tiny little thing because the roots are not big. I don't want to overwhelm the roots in a big pot. So I'm gonna fill this up with soil. I'm gonna plant him up, and I'm gonna do the exact same paper towel thing with the tape around him. Now, I'm going to get this soil wet, not soggy, and I'm just gonna dampen it up. Make sure that these guys stay nice and moist or damp. And so I will pot this up, and to my friend, I'm just gonna tell him to, if he wants to unplug it from the pot and then stick it back in water, he is more than welcome to do that. But if not, he wants to leave it in here, I would leave it in here over summertime. Maybe at the end of summer, you could be lucky enough to repot this guy into a bigger pot or something different. I know that he uses a different soil medium than I do, or a soil mixture, but feel free, it's gonna be brand new soil, so no buggies. But this is my Philodendron Soderoy, and to follow, you will see how I'm going to be potting him up.
Just a minute till you know what I'm good for. I could give you a try, take it to the sky, if you give me one good reason why you deserve my time, why you should be mine. All I need is one good reason. All I need is one good reason.
So here you will see, I don't know if the camera's picking it up because the lighting's kind of bad in my kitchen. I have filled it up just maybe a ½ an inch below the little pot that I have him in. I hope you can see that. And then I'm going to take probably just 1 or 2 damp paper towels and water this guy just a little bit. I'm talking about like sprinkle in it a little bit, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I literally had little tiny drops coming out of my sink when I was getting this wet. It didn't even get wet enough to where it's dripping. So I'm not talking very much water at all, just enough to get the roots some moisture. Alrighty, so now I have this all nicely packaged up. In this package, there's only going to be 2 of these plants, the Florida Beauty and the Philodendron Soderoy. The soil mixture that I am using is the Fox Farms Oceanic Floor Mix. Now I am just going to lay this down right on, probably this way, right in this brown paper sack-like material, and I'm going to wrap it up as nicely and as protected as I can. So I'm going to tape this part of it, but right inside there, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but is tucked away very nicely. There's no bending of the leaves. We will see how this ships because shipping can do some damage to these guys, but I'm gonna put a little piece of tape right there and then call it good, and then you'll see me box everything up. the leaf might bend a little bit in there. With these shaped leaves, I feel like it's hard, but since this leaf isn't the most fragile, I think it will be okay. I'll just make sure to pad the box up really well so that there's barely any movement in shipping. This part makes me nervous because you end up crushing, at least I do, some of the plant, and it always makes me stinking nervous. I hate it. Okay. And all I'm gonna be doing is now patting whatever I can so there's not a lot of movement. I hate this part. So I have it ready to roll. I'm going to tape it, and then I'm going to put the address of who this is going to. And I mean, there's not a lot of movement. I hope there's not too much damage to that Florida Beauty that I put in here. That was awkward putting that in here. Awesome. So I probably have another 3 of these to pack up, and that is basically my trick or tips. Now, putting the plants in the box is a different story for me. It's a little bit more difficult to fit the plants in there, to situate them to where they're not going to be bent. And like I said, unfortunately, sometimes that does happen, especially with packaging it and closing the boxes. I tend to accidentally pinch a leaf or bend a leaf. But I'm not an expert, and I'm not someone who likes to ship plants. I love to give plants. I just hate shipping them because it creates a lot of anxiety in me. So thank you all for joining me. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button, the like. I just want to tell you all that I appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening, for watching. I know that's not a real exciting video, but I figured why not put this up and show you what I'm up to. I've been doing a lot of gardening and planting, and I hope you all are staying safe and well. I love you all. I will be seeing you guys soon. That's me checking out. Bye.